to the special call meeting for Tuesday, March 21st, 2023. Can we have a call for attendance, please?
Commissioner Vowles?
Here.
Commissioner Thomas?
Here.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Here.
Commissioner Witt? Mayor Staten?
Here. If you don't mind, would you please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Is there anyone in the room who has anything they would like to bring before the commission that is not on the agenda? All right, hearing none, I believe we have a consent agenda.
Consent agenda consists of the March 14th, 2023 regular meeting minutes and municipal order 11-23, municipal order awarding bid for purchase of concrete labor for various city projects to Rivertown Construction LLC of Newburgh, Indiana, in the amount of $392,325. Municipal order 12-23, municipal order awarding bid for asphalt pavement milling services to Charbon Contracting LLC of Madisonville, Kentucky, in the amount of $118,000. And municipal order 13-23, municipal order awarding bid for purchase of limestone, rock sand, and recycled concrete for Group A to Hazex Construction Company Incorporated of Henderson, Kentucky, Mulzer Crushed Stone Incorporated of Tell City, Indiana, and Pine Bluff Materials Company LLC of Nashville, Tennessee.
All right, and before we get a motion, are there any items on the consent agenda that any commissioner would like to be pulled for further discussion? Hearing none, can I have a motion to approve, please?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, roll call, please.
Commissioner Vowles?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Aye.
Commissioner Witt?
Aye.
Mayor Staten?
Aye. Looks like we have two second readings. We have a second reading of an ordinance amending zoning ordinance for model homes.
Ordinance number 02-23, ordinance amending Appendix A zoning relating to model homes. An ordinance amending Article 2 definitions, Section 2.01 definitions, and Article 11 R1 single-family residential district, Section 11.02 permitted uses of Appendix A zoning of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Henderson to define and permit model homes in certain residential zoning districts.
All right, do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Are there any questions or discussion involving this ordinance? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Vowles?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Aye.
Commissioner Witt?
Aye.
Mayor Staten?
Aye. We also have a second reading of a budget amendment ordinance.
And that one, maybe. Ordinance number 03-23, ordinance amending budget and appropriation ordinance. Summary, an ordinance amending budget and appropriation ordinance for the fiscal year commencing July 1st, 2022 and ending June 30th, 2023 for the City of Henderson, Kentucky. Whereas on June 14th, 2022, the City of Henderson adopted its annual budget and appropriation ordinance for the fiscal year commencing July 1st, 2022 and ending June 30th, 2023, being ordinance number 14-22. And whereas the city manager recommends that the following additional amendments be adopted, now therefore be it ordained by the City of Henderson, Kentucky, that ordinance number 14-22 is amended as follows. Number 1, General Fund Administration, $3,124,250. Finance, $2,828,070. Fire, $9,048,850. Parks and Recreation, $1,815,020. Police, $9,449,930. Public Works, $3,327,780. Information Technology, $1,011,440. Other, $1,766,660. Transfers, $5,490,000. Total, $37,862,000. Number 2, there is hereby appropriated from the general and special fund accounts of the City of Henderson and allocated to the various funds of the city the following amounts. General Fund. General Fund expenditure total, $32,372,000. Transfer to PWI, $1,428,000. Transfer to Mass Transit, $537,000. Transfer to Construction Fund, $943,000. Transfer to Emergency Communications, $852,000. Transfer to Police and Fire Pension, $327,000. Transfer to Civil Service Pension, $79,000. Transfer to Cemetery, $257,000. Transfer to Bond Fund, $1,067,000. Total General Fund, $37,862,000. Natural Gas Fund, $26,951,000. Health Reimbursement Arrangement, $250,000. Civil Service Pension Fund, $85,000. Police and Fire Pension Fund, $327,000. Cemetery Fund, $557,000. Health Insurance Fund, $8,640,000. Bond Fund, $6,575,000. Public Way Improvement Fund, $2,165,000. Construction Fund, $21,246,000. Heart Operating Fund, $1,678,000. Sanitation Fund, $5,266,000. Emergency Communications Fund, $2,076,000. Tourism Commission Fund, $230,000. Community Development Fund, $784,000. Police Investigation Fund, $93,000. Number 3, the number and classifications of city employees as recited in the annual budget is approved as presented. Number 4, the city manager is authorized to hire an additional 2 police officers when it is deemed necessary by the police chief and the city manager due to the length of training necessary for this position. Number 5, the city manager is authorized to hire additional non-hazardous duty personnel for key positions when deemed necessary for succession training purposes, and the expenditures for the additional hires do not exceed the appropriations granted. Number 6, this ordinance shall be effective as of July 1st, 2022. This ordinance of amendment shall become effective upon its legal adoption.
Thank you, Marie. Do we have a motion to approve, please?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any questions, comments, discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Vowles?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Aye.
Commissioner Witt?
Aye.
Mayor Staten?
Aye. Next, we have a first reading on an ordinance amending our transient room tax.
Ordinance number 04-23, ordinance amending Chapter 21, taxation. An ordinance amending Chapter 21, taxation, Article 7, transient room tax, Section 21-112, collection, filing of returns, penalty of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Henderson.
We have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Are there any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Vowles?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Aye.
Commissioner Witt?
Aye.
Mayor Staten?
Aye. If you don't mind, let's do this one first.
Sure.
Next, we have a municipal order awarding a bid for construction of Barrett Boulevard extension. Sorry.
Municipal order number 15-23, municipal order awarding bid for construction of Barrett Boulevard extension to Regal Incorporated of Newburgh, Indiana, in the amount of $969,398.50.
All right. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any questions, comments, or discussion?
I probably would like to make a comment. We did go out for public bids. We received 4 bids back. The apparent low bidder had omitted required paperwork or documentation acknowledging the addendums for the contract itself. In itself, it's a technical omission. We recommend to the Board of Commissioners that we reject the low bid and go to the next low bidder based upon the requirements.
All right, are there any questions or comments for Buzzy? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Vowles,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt,
Aye.
Commissioner Whitt,
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye. Next, we have a municipal order approving a sports complex change order.
Municipal order number 14-23, municipal order approving change order request PR number 5 to the construction agreement with Arc Construction Company Incorporated of Evansville, Indiana for construction of the Henderson Sports Complex on Airline Road in an amount not to exceed $500,000.
All right, before we get a motion on that, I believe our city manager would like to expand a little bit on this one.
Okay, before you'll find a letter from QK4 indicating the background of the purpose of this change order request, but I would rather give you an overview quickly of what happened. When the city hired QK4 to do the mask grading, Dylan, you might as well come to the podium. I've sort of started, and I'll stop and turn it over in a minute. However, QK4 did the mass grading for the site. And at the time, the plans were submitted to Henderson Water Utility for their review and approval of that drainage plan. At the time this occurred, Henderson Water Utility's drainage engineer retired. During the next time is we had a property owner who lives downstream of the discharge of our property requested to sit down with HW, the city, and our engineers to discuss the drainage plan. And they wanted confirmation from us that we would not put any more water on their property than currently exists. So at this point in time, HW had hired a new drainage engineer who began reviewing the plans submitted by QK4. And what was determined that the piping designed by QK4 was not of adequate size. So with that being said, Dylan, I'm going to stop, let you continue the conversation.
Yeah, first of all, I apologize for being a little late. I had some personal issues I had to take care of. Yeah, as Buzzy said, he kind of explained already the pipe situation. So the thing that I would say is this is, in essence, a value-add situation. We are, one of the other things that's lumped in, really there's going to be 2 or 3 drainage-related components that are part of this PR. One of the others is a spillway. So in the original bid, they were just riprap spillways. There's 2 major spillways, the primary and then the alternate spillway. After review from HW, it was strongly suggested that we look at concreting one of those for maintenance. The elevation of the spillway ultimately determines what the pool elevation is in the detention basin. So you can imagine if that settles over time, that ultimately reduces our holding capacity, which would then create potentially more flooding issues for people downstream. And so by concreting that, it takes the maintenance piece out of it. You don't have to worry about also mowing around that's going to be a lot more difficult. It'll be a lot more easy with the spillway. So there were also a few things like that that were added in there that were not originally part of it that will benefit us. So as Buzzy said, this is something that really we need to do to approve to get the drainage where it needs to be for the project. And there's a variety of issues and factors that went into the changes, but those are probably the biggest: the pipe, the structure sizes, and then the spillway.
All right, while we have them, does anybody have any questions?
So that's going to make all the farmers in that area happy.
Well,
Yeah.
I'd like to make another comment. We were very cognitive as we began this project, not only the drainage off of our property, but our property acts as a conduit to take drainage away from adjoining farm ground and residential areas. And we looked at that very strong early on. And as Dylan stated, during, if y'all have not been out there, but we've done quite a bit of mass excavation this far, and it was uncovered one day last week, a pipe coming underneath Airline Road that was never on anybody's radar screen. It wasn't on any maps. It's something that we're going back to ask the engineers to accommodate, but we believe that drains a 5-acre area, which I believe, and you correct me, but it's at farm ground between that one residential house and the subdivision.
Yes, sir. I believe that's correct. And I'm glad you brought it up, because that was one thing I was going to add. Is I was talking to QK4 about that this morning, and so they're actually talking about building another small detention basin that would collect that water, which should further help just the drainage in that area. It's a small watershed, but that change that we're in the process of doing will also be lumped into this drainage. There's multiple little drainage. I mean, a couple large ones, but then also several minor ones as well. So, and as Buzzy probably mentioned, we're still working on finalizing that. So that's the reason for the not to exceed number, because that is such a critical part, getting the pipe ordered. Hazex has already started dirt work, but the problem is because they've started dirt work and they don't have any pipe in, that water doesn't have, the proper place to go. So as soon as they get the pipe in, the quicker it'll dry out, it'll make their dirt work go faster. So that's kind of like the most critical piece right now, which is why we're going ahead and bringing it to you all, and we'll be sure to negotiate that and make sure that that's a fair number under that 500,000 number, whatever that is. So,
You never want to get into a situation where you have change orders, especially potentially one of this size. However, the primary reason we're building the sports complex is to take care of the youth in this community. And as we're doing that, another primary focus should be being as good a neighbors as we can to the people who surround that sports complex. And so if this is something that you feel and our city manager feels like is warranted and needed to protect the area around it from excess drainage and such, then I can be in favor of it. So.
As Commissioner Thomas said earlier, we went to the farmer sound off event, and that was a huge concern for
It was very huge.
farmers in that area, just the drainage and how this sports complex and all the pavement there is going to play with that. So.
and that is one thing I'll say too, is all the storm drainage has been designed for the master plan. So as we build everything out, there'll be more impervious surface for water to run off, but we've accounted for that now. So theoretically, until the whole thing's built, it should be a lot better. I mean, when it's done, there's certain calculations HW run so that we don't make the situation any worse. But it's been designed for the entire site, so should be good.
And thank you, Dylan. Does anybody have any other questions or comments? We need a motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion, Commissioner Thomas, and a second, Commissioner Pruitt. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Vowles?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Aye.
Commissioner Whitt?
Aye.
Mayor Staten?
Aye. We do have need for executive session, but before that, I believe we have a few reports to get to. The city manager's report, please.
Yes, sir. I met with HR today to discuss the schedule and approach to replacing our retiring fire chief. And I'm asking the Board of Commission to appoint one individual to serve on the interview committee that we anticipate that process will begin probably, Connie, would you say in the next 2 or 3 weeks?
Yes, sir.
So,
I'll tell you, every member of this city commission cares about the direction of our fire department. And I think anybody on this commission would make a good appointee. One person over the last 2 years has asked me more questions about the fire department than any other. And if he's willing, and if the rest of the commission will accept that, I would like to nominate Commissioner Thomas to be that representative of our city commission, if that pleases the rest of the commission.
I'm
Need a
on board.
motion on it?
Yes, we do need a motion on that if everybody's.
I'll make a motion that we put Rodney on the commission.
All right, we have a
Committee.
motion from Commissioner Pruitt,
I would second that motion.
second from Commissioner Witt. We have a roll call, please.
Commissioner Vowles.
Aye.
Commissioner-
Abstain.
Commissioner Pruitt.
Aye.
Commissioner Whit.
Aye.
Mayor State.
Aye. Anything else on the city manager's report?
No, sir.
Okay, we're good to go there. City Commissioners report. Commissioner Bowles,
Nothing today. Thank you.
Commissioner Thomas,
Nothing today.
Commissioner Pruitt,
Nothing.
Commissioner Whit.
Nothing.
All right, we have need for executive session, please.
You ready for a motion?
Yes, please.
I move the commission go into executive session for the purpose of discussion of proposed litigation against the city of Henderson pursuant to KRS 61.810, paragraph 1, subsection C.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Can we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Vowles.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt.
Aye.
Commissioner Whit.
Aye.
Mayor State.
Aye, and I believe we're going to use this room for our executive